So, which side will win? So, Andrew Tate is gaining some momentum right now, and but he doesn't really have these key political friends in in the right wing movement. He openly goes against these self help gurus on the right wing. He thought he labeled them as cowards, right? So they are cowards. I think he's also against Jordan Peterson. By the way, I think Jordan Peterson is not an authoritarian. Even though he has these ideas that are authoritarian, but he he has tamed himself, and he probably looks farther to the future. He's a he's a complex guy with complex opinions. And I think it's wrong that people frame him in this category of fascist. He speaks reality, which is kind of cruel. The reality is cruel to some people, but he still wants to do good, you know. Still thinks that freedom is important, but he also adds responsibility and accountability to it because they're also important. But Andrew Tate, he's just this archetypal asshole, I think, because he just goes against all of these ideals and he just wants to dominate. He's domineering, right? He wants to dominate everyone openly. And people right now, they're still following him. And I don't really know if these are just his talks. He's bluffing to make people respect him, or if he actually does these things, or it is just a spectacle. No, because if he really does it, if he really does these preposterous things like wanting to enslave people, women, as his sex slaves, and also I imagine he will extend that to his followers, right? But maybe if he's just blabbering about it, just it's just a spectacle, and in reality he's actually taking a really good care of his people, maybe his view will persist longer. This kind of competitive view to become the alpha male, right? It can stick longer. Can stick longer, but I don't know how long. You know what? If it works for people and people are willingly accepting it, then I think it's the right thing that should happen. Even if they suffer, they are willingly choosing this. So that's the thing. They suffer, just a thing. But they also impose suffering upon other people. They objectify women, and women are there's not much that can be done by women, I think. So it really depends on man. It's it's a really sick dynamics, but that's the truth. It's really up to men whether they want to protect the women. Although there are some things that women can do, I think. When there are these men that already protects, they already protect you, you need to really understand what kind of things that are really conducive to stability and support these causes and not become this delusional and I mean be just understand just understand what you're tossing in the trash and what you're condoning. But I don't know if that can be fixed in terms of evolution. Because in order for that to happen, in order for women to be able to really see what kind of ideologies that they should uphold, what kind of ideas that they should be against, like the idea of masculinity, etc. In order for women to really understand which kind of ideology that they need to endorse, is they need to be selected in terms of evolution. So women who are smart must survive in order for them to be smart. So that becomes a new dilemma. It becomes a new dilemma because in order to save them, you probably have to euthanize them. It's saddening, but I see. I mean, if we are to progress to a society where women are truly equal to men, then a lot of women will be sacrificed in order for a new group of strong women to survive. That would create this tremendous suffering for women, this mass murder. It's a really, really sad thing, but in the future women are able to women are to be biologically as strong as men, there would need to be that kind of evolution to happen, right? Because human, if humanity is evolving to be this kind of technological species, there's this possibility that women are not even needed anymore. Well, can I want to say that men men can also not be needed in the future, and women are the ones who are ruling the human species, and women just create sperm from the lab. But the fact is, most scientists right now are men, and men have bigger brain. So there's this kind of objective asymmetry between men and women. I don't know if this is really categorical or they're hierarchical. And the way I see it, it's hierarchical, you know? I don't like that reality, but that seems to be the truth. So, if ever in the future there is only one sex that is left in the human species, it would be the male sex. And men would probably just create wombs in the lab. But I mean, why is that a sad thing? It's like you're losing this one giant, this one species that go extinct. I mean, why is that such a bad thing? Even animal, even species extinction. I don't really understand what's so bad about it, because I always see these things from individual perspective. I mean, that's an individual is sentient whether or not they are this species or that species. They're all sentient, right? So I don't really understand why is it wrong if one species go extinct if there is no suffering involved. Why does it matter that humanity survives. You're not humanity, you're just yourself. So, in one sense, each individual still needs this kind of social connection, right? At least currently, we still need social connections. So I can see that we want humanity to survive. But what I don't understand is if if the male species is not to survive in the future, or the male sex is not to survive in the future, why does it matter? It is not you. They are not you. But I still feel sad about it. But why is that? I don't get it. What's so bad about that? So yeah, basically, I don't know how to conclude this, right? I'm just speaking out all of my mind. I don't know. I don't really have any conclusion. They're just what they are. But that's all. I'll see you again next time.